Who's your first witness?
First witness is Ms. Wilson.
Okay. Before we get started, is everyone, just to double check, because it's been a while since the hearing started without us going anywhere witness-wise, and that is, if you're going to speak, I want to make sure you sign the list that's up there and you put your address on it?
Yes.
Okay, so if you haven't and you think you might, please sign, otherwise, and still say your name and address when you get up to the podium also, that's very helpful.
Okay. So
State your full name for the zoning hearing board.
it's Mary Rose Wilson,
And what is your address?
64 East Wall Street, Bethlehem,
How long have you lived at that address?
over 10 years.
And who do you live there with?
I live there with my husband Patrick and my 3 children, one of whom is in college right now, and the other 2 at home. My 3 kids are Liam, Declan, and Kiva.
Did you testify at the city council meeting on December 4th of 2018?
I did.
And at that time, did you relate to city council the constant battle to fight off commercial intrusion into the residential neighborhood that you live in?
I did.
Can you please expand on that with the zoning hearing board and tie it into as to why you think that impacts this amendment that's before them?
Basically, yes, to summation, what I said that evening is that, you know, we are a residential neighborhood. And I feel like we are constantly having to battle between the illegal Airbnbs that are operating in our neighborhood, that are operating as basically just hotels. And now with this property that's being spot zoned, that...
Legal completely.
Okay. It's noted.
Oh. But anyway, to go on, it feels as if we are constantly in battle. When it's like when you live in a residential neighborhood, you have an expectation as a resident that it will stay residential, that you're not battling businesses coming in next door. And if there's really no rules, it's, you know, what's to stop? My husband has an online retail business. Why couldn't we just put a shutter outside our door and not go through any proper channels and just start our own business? It's like, it just seems that the rules don't seem to apply to certain people when you look at what's been going on in the neighborhood. And so it has been a battle that we want to try to keep it residential. I feel like if we lived in a little, you know, suburban cul-de-sac community, you're not going to have a bar pop up next door or a hotel or a financial office. But it seems like because we live in town, oh, well, it's just expected. It's like, well, I understand that we live in a city and we are close by to business districts. We have Main Street, we have Broad Street, and they're wonderful. I love going down to Main Street, you know, for dinner and stuff. But in our neighborhood, it's a neighborhood. It is a residential neighborhood. We raise our kids there. You know, we take care of our neighbors. You know, you mow lawns. I know that it sounds also like, you know, I'm talking about, you know, some idyllic world here, but that's why we moved to Bethlehem. And we love to have neighbors. We love to live in a walkable town, but we should have the expectation that a business isn't going to pop up right next door.
And you're familiar with this location at 2 West Market Street?
Yes.
I believe you testified before City Council that you had concerns that with this passage of this act, that the neighborhood is just going to become this extension of the commercial, Broad, and Main Street areas. Can you explain that in more detail?
Yes, I mean, if it starts on that corner and then it goes into another corner, and basically what it'll set up is if 2 West Market can operate, you know, the Dr. and Sir properties, they're just going to keep operating. And that's right now, is, according to the state Supreme Court, is not supposed to be happening, but that's a whole other thing. But it becomes, at what point does it start? Well, this person gets a pass. Well, then this person, they got a pass too. And then all of a sudden, it's just every corner there's a business in our neighborhood. And that's not why I moved to historic Bethlehem. You know, I lived in Manhattan, I lived in London, I've lived in places where there's businesses everywhere. And that's not why I moved to Bethlehem in this particular neighborhood. And so that is a concern, because it seems like there has to be some sort of zoning restrictions. And if there's no zoning restrictions, then, you know, all of this is just pointless. So
I think you also testified that you had concerns that this influx of businesses.
I do. I object to the leading nature of the question.
I mean, I guess I do understand that, but if she did testify to that subject before, I think it'd be fair to say that you testify about X, right? So we'll probably get to the same place at the end for now.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
fine.
okay. You can finish the question, Mr. Stevens.
Do you recall testifying the concern that businesses like what's happening at 2 West Market Street will chase the residents out of your residential neighborhood?
Eventually, yeah, I do worry about that, and it becomes, you know, if it becomes just a sea of financial offices or law offices, all the charm that's in that neighborhood is just gonna slowly start to disappear. I mean, there's already been issues with the Airbnbs and people complaining about the all-night parties going on, and that's not really a great place to raise a family if you've got small children. You don't want, you know, all-night parties next door, nor do you wanna have just to lose families to offices that close at 5 o'clock, and then you have these big empty buildings there. That's not a neighborhood, that's not a residential neighborhood. So that is a concern.
And then have you had an opportunity to review what you testified to at city council?
I did.
And is that statement a true and correct copy of what you said at city council?
It is.
I'd like to introduce our appellant's exhibit.
Give a copy to the other council first, please.
Sure. So what's 29, seems to be exhibit 29.
We only go to 28.
I have the transcripts marked.
Oh, they're not part of, we didn't put those in here?
I mentioned them when I was talking about the issue with the transcripts.
And they're listed in 24, but you didn't give us copies of those yet. Because the reason you hadn't is because we were ruling as to whether we were gonna take copies, right?
Right.
Okay.
I want to keep them I want to keep them marked as the exhibits. I
Right.
mentioned each transcript to create our record.
Right, and you can, those would be part of the record of tonight, but not admitted as exhibits.
Right, so, should I plan these up now? Maybe just, we can have one book, just so we
Yeah.
have them in the record.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, just put it there, we're not gonna,
And then this would be exhibit 29. For her testimony before city council, to the record as exhibit 29.
okay, so the 4 transcripts that you reference in your letter of September 3 are 25, 26, 27, and 28?